What's up, Comic-Con?
Hey, everybody. Woo.
You can applaud.
There you go. There it
loud.
is.
We
All
like
right.
that.
Hope you're having a great Saturday. We are at day 3 of Comic-Con. And it's awesome. It is the most crowded day by far. This place is
pretty
packed
hot.
now. Yeah, and it is also the warmest
Everyone's
day
got
so
the
far.
right idea here in the sun.
Yeah, hanging out here in the shade on this. We've got an awesome panel for you. We have the writers and heads of Valiant Comics here, and they're going to be doing a Q&A with us, talking about all of their new comics and comic movies and a bunch of other stuff. And so we're going to ask them stuff, and we have time. We're going to do Q&As with you guys. So if you have questions for Valiant Comics, definitely come over here. And we also have a bunch of posters to give away. So if you want free stuff, definitely come over here and hang out. We're going to be doing that at the end of the panel.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan. All right,
Let's bring
I'm
them
gonna start.
out.
Yeah, let's bring these people up. Starting, this is the CEO of Valiant Comics. Please welcome to the stage, Dinesh Shamdasani. Sorry, I got that like doc voice thing.
Up next, we have the editor-in-chief, Warren Simons.
He's the writer for Secret Weapons, also the Academy Award-nominated writer for the movie Arrival, and my favorite Final Destination movie, Final Destination 5. That's the bridge one. Please welcome Eric Heisserer.
And we have the writer of Faith, Jody Hauser.
And then doing double duty on Archer and Armstrong and War Mother, please welcome Fred Van Lente.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Good.
Good.
How are you guys?
We're doing great. We've been
Yeah,
doing
we're
this for
staying
3
cool.
days straight. It's like, it's good. They're like heat delirium setting in, but it's excellent. We're having a lot of fun over here. So awesome. Thank you guys for all coming and hanging out with us. You're on the hottest stage at Comic-Con, as we like to call it. So to jump this off, you guys are, Valiant's right in the middle of a huge relaunch of their Icons books, starting with Exo Manowar and continuing on through this year. So
We heard it, yeah.
what goes into like an undertaking this huge?
Stress. Tons and tons. No. We're very lucky. We have incredible creators that we work with. We just relaunched Exo Manowar with Matt Kint and Tomas Giorello. It sold 93,000 copies. It was the single biggest
independent ongoing book of the year.
biggest independent ongoing of the book. And then our pal Eric Heiser over here just launched the Secret Weapons book for us, which was the
Biggest independent miniseries of the year.
So we're having a lot of good success because we have a bunch of amazing creators who've joined us here, and we've got a bunch of great characters. Valiant was at one point in time one of the most popular comic book companies in the entire industry. I think in the early 90s it had 20% market share, and in 2012 we began to republish again, and we've slowly been rebuilding the brand and publishing some of the best comics in the industry right now. So it's been a good time.
Yeah, you can woo that.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
amazing.
with that. Yeah.
Woo.
Woo! So other comic brands have also rebooted some of their universes, and it's come to some mixed reactions. But do you think comics need to keep evolving like that in order to stay relevant today, to kind of like keep evolving the characters and the storylines?
What do we
Yes.
Yep.
I think all the Marvel Universe characters should be dinosaurs. I feel that should be the
Ooh.
next.
I would
the
buy
next
those
major. That would be
books.
good.
Please. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, dinosaur
The
comics.
Hulk dinosaur would just be, that would be terrifying.
Fred,
It would be.
have you heard of a little book called Bad Eggs? That
No, I haven't, Dinesh. Could you please explain in laborious detail what the book called Bad Eggs is about?
You have the floor now.
All right. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
This is a book that Valiant is part of the Valiant universe that we have not published yet in our relaunch. That should be the opening line here. It is about 2 dinosaurs. And Hunter, our head of marketing, is looking at me with his judging eyes. Oh, thumbs up. 2 dinosaurs. Let's turn these thumbs up into a thumbs down. That live in a world in which dinosaurs act like humans, and these two raptors are only looking to get laid, get high, and cheat their friends.
They're totally in your face, man.
Yes, they're totally in your face.
I would buy this.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
And then I would immediately want it in a movie form.
Bad Eggs,
Hunter?
the movie.
It was put out when Beavis and Butthead were really big.
It's the
Right? Isn't that the part of the inspiration?
it's like your pitch. It's Beavis and Butthead if they were dinosaurs. Done.
This is
There you go.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great elevator
Green
pitch.
lit.
I'm sold.
Yep.
So on that, like, one of the reasons Valiant stands out is because you guys are telling stories and featuring characters that are just refreshingly different from what we're seeing in mainstream comics, while still like very much embodying what we expect kind of from like superhero comics. Is that, as a company, something you guys like actively set out to like eschew these norms, or is it just kind of come naturally by having all these amazing writers on your books?
It comes from before us. We can't take credit for that. That Valiant was very, very successful in the 90s. It was created by a group of really, really talented people from Marvel: Jim Shooter, Bob Layton, Barrington Smith.
David Lapham, Joe Quesada, Jimmy Palmiotti.
And so for us, it's just about keeping that tradition going. And the writers you have up here are fascinating because they are all doing such a fantastic job of that. Eric on Secret Weapons, yesterday had a panel. He had a panel. We watched it where he talked about that very eloquently. Faith, Jody on Faith is tremendous in that regard. And obviously Fred and the upcoming Bad Eggs comic books and feature film.
Bad Eggs destroy the Marvel Universe, I think is what we're going to call it.
Versus.
Versus the Marvel.
The Velociraptor.
Oh, there it is.
I assume this features Devil Dinosaur as like the protagonist.
Yeah, I'm sold on this. Like, this is
Yeah.
by the end of this panel, this like is this whole universe is going to be built. Like, fans will be like beating on the door waiting for this.
I can tell the swell of Bad Eggs love is
Yeah.
just looking out across the audience.
We
Well,
got
you
one
guys don't
guy.
want to see raptors
By the day-
like
There's
just
gonna be a
growing.
cosplay out there
tricking their
before
friends.
the day's over. Yeah.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, fans
for,
move fast.
For Eric and Jody specifically, you guys are both writing books about these amazing, powerful women. And what are the challenges and inspirations and even like some of the stuff that's coming easy to you now that sort of women superheroes seems to be getting kind of like a rise finally? What's it like writing real, relatable, but powerful women for you guys?
I mean, the cool thing about Faith is she's a fan like anyone at this convention. So, writing her is just as familiar as hanging out with any of my friends in real life. She would fit in at like our movie nights or our gaming sessions or whatnot. But I think the most refreshing thing about Faith is that she's an optimistic hero. And I know there's been a lot of talk about things being too grim and dark in comics and movies for a while now, and I think we're starting to get over the hill on that and have like a range of stuff that's like there's the dark stuff for the people who like that and the more hopeful things too. But Faith has always been such a hopeful, optimistic character. You know, she goes out there and uses her powers to help people because that's what you do, and she can make a difference. So obviously that's her choice, and there was never a question of it for her. So
Her name comes in handy. You don't want her to be the opposite of Faith, right? So-
yeah, well, and her name's that just is a coincidence that her name's Faith Herbert. Her superhero name is Zephyr, but everyone knows her identity, so they almost never call her that to her chagrin.
Honestly, Livewire has that same sense of hope and optimism, and it's one of the things that drew me to her character and drew me to Valiant in general, because you have characters like Faith and Livewire, who constantly work to try and make the world a better place. Sometimes through different means, but that's where the fun comes.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, both of the characters are amazing. Eric, so you're most famously known as a screenwriter, but you've done other comic stuff in the past. Do you have a preference for a style that you like to do? Do you find that like there's different challenges to each one, and how do you approach them differently?
Yeah, no, they're similar enough that I can con my way into thinking I can do both well, but really the advantage of writing for comics is that you get a much quicker feedback. The cycle is a lot shorter, and once you get a relationship with your artist, you get sort of a pure, more distilled version of whatever idea it is you're trying to communicate, and the more that you can build that relationship with that artist, the clearer and more elevated the message becomes. Whereas you run the risk in movie making of the more people that come on board to make that film just have the same chance of sort of murking up the message or the idea of what the movie should be. Very rarely, you get a unicorn of a film where everybody's making the same film. Quite often, you have people there with their own agendas, and sometimes it doesn't even have anything to do with the film.
Interesting.
Maybe we'll see a little bit of an Arrival Valiant comic,
Ooh.
perhaps. That might be our next big, powerful woman lead.
Rival 2, right? Yeah, Electric Boogaloo. Sure,
There
yeah,
you
we'll
go.
try that.
There you go.
Guest starring the Bad Eggs.
Yes. Can we please?
All right, they already have an awesome crossover. I love it. That's so you talked about kind of having that control and being able to get that feedback. It feels like comics are a little more like nimble in that respect. When you guys set out to do a relaunch, is your path like kind of set, or do you guys find that you like kind of pivot and change based on kind of reactions and how it's going?
Warren, you're the editor-in-chief.
I think that one of the things that we try to do at Valiant is let our creators create. And in that regard, someone like Eric will come to me or come to us with a secret weapons pitch, and we love the idea and we think that it's amazing. And our job really is to facilitate trying to make that onto the page. As Eric was noting, the life cycle, the production time tends to go much faster than on a film or TV show. So what we try to do is just support all facets of everyone who makes the comic. The writer, the penciler, the inker, the colors, the letterer, and we try to help work with each of those disciplines to make it as good as possible. But also, hopefully, we don't try to hijack the thing and make it our own thing, but we're trying to all build, as Eric noted, towards one vision of the perfect form of this thing. And I think that's why we've been able to have some success in that regard.
So, like, Archer and Armstrong aren't actually part of the Icons relaunch. So, what can we see in the future with that, considering, like, the roadmap, maybe, for the comics?
Well, we have the preeminent Archer and Armstrong writer here, Fred Van Lente, who wrote 25 issues of the book.
Tell us.
What to expect?
Yeah.
Well, we've been kicking around some ideas. I guess I'm most excited about the Valiant comics that involve a lot of booze. So they have this.
You have a pattern right now.
I
don't
know,
you?
right? And so Armstrong is an immortal drunken strongman, and we've been kicking around an idea about us visiting his booze collection at one point throughout history. And so that might be a good time. So he's 10,000 years old, and so he's got wines from every conceivable era in human history. And so we're going to find out how he accumulated all that, and someone tries to steal his wine cellar, which is in some secret vault somewhere. And he and Archer have to stop that. I'm looking forward to that. Because, obviously, to do a lot of research, I'm going to have to drink a lot of wine, you guys. Yeah. Which, you know, twist my arm, all right, but it's for my art, so I will sacrifice everything.
He sounds like
to
the
get
best
story.
like dinner party host.
That's right.
He has the best wine.
Like, you putting like an expense report in for this? Like, I had to go buy one of those 4,000-year-old like casks of wine that they have in like
$15,000.
Like,
We're so passionate about our books that we will 100% expense that, Fred, if
Yes.
I can have some.
Otherwise, you'll find me on the street
Yes.
with a paper bag around a...
I want to know what
Round of
what
40.
it mean, like what your expense reports look like for bad eggs.
Well, the pieces to my time machine, of course. The flux
Perfect.
capacitor and
There it is.
tritium-3 and whatever else you need.
a
you
metric ton of marijuana and just,
Springs.
like
This is the only panel that we have done in 6 years that has invoked bad eggs, and it will not go away.
oh my god, it's
That
awesome.
means something, Warren.
Exo versus Bad Eggs, bro. I think we're
Exo, did you say?
Exo Man-O-War versus
Just give
Bad
the
Eggs.
people what they want.
Bad Exo, man of war.
Time Walker 2019. Good night.
There you go.
You
Perfect.
said it.
You heard
You
it
heard
here
it
first.
here.
It is a Fandom exclusive. All right. So you recently announced plans for 2 upcoming films based on the books. What current comic to movie adaptations, if any, do you feel like people are doing right?
I loved Wonder Woman.
I was
Wonder
just
Woman
going to
would be
say Wonder
high
Woman.
on my list.
Definitely.
Logan also this year was Logan was really good this
Logan
year.
was great.
yeah.
Wonder Woman was great.
Yeah.
Would you like, is Logan kind of more where you would see Valiant comic films like going like more character focused than like set piece based?
We have the writer of Bloodshot
Yeah.
and Harbinger, the feature films, right here.
Oh,
where is
right.
God.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What do you see in the
What
future,
do
Eric?
what do I see? I see a lot more stress. No, yeah, I would say that we didn't. we didn't go in thinking about set pieces or even about like franchisable elements. You know, I think as I said to Dinesh, it's always grated on my nerves when I'm in a comic book film, and it feels like a really long trailer to a film that they're about to make after this, and the assumption that I would show up for that. So rather than do that, I just wanted to, you know, focus on one story for Bloodshot and one story for Harbinger, and you know, see how they do, and take it from there. And so because of that, it becomes entirely about character, and digging into the origins of Bloodshot and the origins of the other kids.
So then, are any of these movies like Logan, are those kind of influencing possibly how you end up approaching these movies? Of like, you know, the difference between maybe some lightheartedness of what you would see in a Marvel movie, or like some of the darkness in some of the DC ones, of like how you want to end up creating your own Valiant universe for the films?
Well, I think the political answer is that, like, we try not to look at the other comic book movies and see what they're doing, you know, and just stay in our lane. And the truth is that I'd written both of those before Logan came out, so I was like, oh damn, that's what I should have done.
Needs more face stabbings.
Right, exactly, always.
I don't know, Eric. I think your Bloodshot script is much better than the Logan movie script. Logan's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but I think people...
You're going to ask me for free work on this soon, right? That's why...
Right, I was building up to it right now, actually.
That's so.
He has witnesses now.
So when you guys announced the Icons launch, there was a classified comic on there, and is it still classified? And can you give us like hints on kind of upcoming things to come that we can expect at the Icons launch?
That was yours, Fred.
Yeah, that was War Mother, which is coming out, the first issue, which is coming out in August, which is super exciting. It's about almost post-apocalyptic Amazon jungle warfare. Anna is the protector of her tribe, the Grove, and she's the title of War Mother because she's symbiotically attached to her cybernetic talking sniper rifle, whose name is Flacco. And she runs around the jungle fighting monsters and cyborgs, and occasionally cyborg monsters, just for variety. And it's great. Steven Segovia is doing the art, and it's just lovely. We had a great reaction to the character when she premiered in a one-shot last year, and just it's been cool seeing all the fan art. We've had like custom Funkos made of her and some cosplay, right?
Yeah, we had cosplay.
Seeing online, it's very neat, and so it's exciting to have her give her, you know, 88 pages instead of 22. It'll be good.
She's an awesome character. She also, I think, embodies a lot of what you guys are talking about with Valiant, and even the films. In that, what's different about Valiant is I think you take a look at the Valiant characters and you think, I can't believe they made that person a superhero. And War Mother with her, as Fred mentioned, sentient sniper rifle, which is awesome, and essentially a newborn, is a really, really cool pairing.
So we want to also talk a little bit about, so for Bloodshot and Harbinger, if you haven't already, what would be some of the fantasy casting that you would have? Who would be the ideal stars to actually cast in either of those movies? Like,
Now's
that
your time
you
to
have
request
seen.
them personally, I guess.
Eric, do you want to get in trouble?
No,
Try
I'm
to
not getting in
recruit
trouble
them
on that
now.
one.
No? Oh, we already have some. Got it.
We have a Bloodshot.
Oh,
We
all
haven't
right.
announced our Bloodshot yet. It's very, you'll never guess it. The few people that we have let into the secret, it's interesting because there's a very small group. We try to do this with everything we do. In the comics, we try to build a small group, not really worry about what anyone else is doing, just what we think is cool. We did that with the film, and we've let a few people now into who's going to be playing Bloodshot, and the reaction has been, they've just been gaga in love with the idea. So we're feeling a little confident now.
So
You can't just like whisper it in our ear and promise that we won't.
Yeah,
tell.
You're working the wrong guy. Work on Eric. He's the weak one. This is the weak link.
Why do you throw me under the bus
Swap
like that?
chairs.
Eric, what do you like to drink? What are you doing after this?
That's right.
He likes to
Single
drink
malt.
truth serum.
Yes.
There we go. So for the writers, if you could do a crossover comic with your books and any other book, who would you want to crossover with?
Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. A
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
A classic.
It's like Pride and Prejudice and
I want
Bad
to see
Eggs.
Faith in there. I want to see Livewire in there. I want to see War Mother and the Bad Eggs. And, you know, all your favorite dinosaur characters.
Would all of your characters actually come together, like, in harmony? Like, your Raptors and Faith and Livewire? Like,
No, they would rampage
they would
through
just wail
Victorian
on each
England. It
other?
would be a disaster.
Many of them are coming together actually soon in Harbinger Wars 2.
And also in Faith in the Future Force.
And Faith and Future, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
There we go.
That's a new announcement though.
Not really.
We haven't. Hunter was gonna off to San Diego, really push that, but we're here, so we should talk about it.
Yeah, so Faith in the Future Force actually is kind of a huge company-wide crossover event that I'm writing. The first issue comes out next week.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's one of the things that Faith, who's a fan of so many things that I am, she loves Doctor Who and time travel, and she's been mentioning throughout her title, like, man, I hope, you know, some guy shows up in a box someday and I get to travel through time. So she's finally having her time travel adventure to try to stop an evil robot that wants to take reality apart, essentially. So she ends up having to recruit pretty much everyone in the Valiant universe in this fight to save all of reality from ceasing to exist. So, and I guess if we were talking like crossovers with non-Valiant stuff, a Doctor Who crossover would be amazing,
Yeah.
just because she would be so happy. I would do it for her.
She would be great in Doctor Who.
And now
I
that
would
it's
love
going to be
see
a
Faith.
woman, too, it would be even more powerful for her.
Oh yeah. A woman named Jody, might I add.
Yes.
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 Eric, how about you? You got any crossover like dreams?
Oh man. Well, I just want to play around with some more of the Valiant characters first before I like breach any other kind of sort of like publisher windows. I don't know what. Well, what I want to do is I want to start like finding ways to put characters from very different timelines together, because that's the thing I love about the Valiant world is that you've got characters. You know, in 4001, you had characters like Antonius for Britannia, and then of course you have like your current day character, and then there's just other people that don't necessarily get a lot of airtime, like Dr. Mirage, and you know I'm constantly like coming to them with pitches of like, okay, how about these three? And, like those are 5 timelines right there.
Faith in the Future Force this summer.
There
Yeah,
it is.
Faith in the Future Force is a big moment for us. We try and be very conscientious as a company. We don't want to overload our fans. We take our time. We just want to build good stories, and we've very consciously not done the thing that the other big companies do, which is here's every character in the universe crossing over, and then 6 weeks later, here's another story where they all happened, and then it wiped away what happened before. We haven't really done what Jody's about to do in Faith and Future Force. We have not done in the universe. There's characters that have been around 5-6 years now in our modern version of Valiant that have never met, that Jody's going to be introducing to each other for the first time. I'm incredibly excited about that. Warren knows that because I've been bugging him about it every day since we decided to do it.
And one of my favorite things about this book is we have an opening where Faith, who's a superhero, has a civilian identity known as Summer Smith, and she's at work, and this character named Neela Timewalker comes to recruit her to help save the future. And she comes and she tells her that the future is in jeopardy and she needs her to come with her. And Faith looks up at her and she's like, "Oh my God, you're a doctor! I've been waiting for this moment my whole life." So it's just this awesome moment that perfectly encapsulates Faith and how she's just ready for a time traveler to pop out of the blue.
And the best part is that Neela does not like Doctor Who, and you sort of set that up pretty well. So I call it's the epic summer crossover of a Doctor Who fan and someone who doesn't like the show.
She's like, "Oh,
Haters
God."
and fans unite to save the universe.
Now I wish Faith would end up crossing over into a Doctor Who episode. That would be just quick pop in.
She would die happy. I might die happy. I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
So since you guys are actually going into the movie realm, have you guys thought about even possibly any of your comics, maybe even going into television, of wanting to tell the story a little bit more like in depth, a little more thoroughly in that kind of way either? Like, or movie first and then we'll see.
No, sure. It's just part of the business now. What you're seeing from us is not a reluctance to talk about this stuff. It's that we're all comic book fans and we love talking about the comic books. That's who we are. It's the stuff that we wanted to do this for. But yes, all that stuff is part of what comics is now, and so we have Bloodshot and Harbinger at Sony with an actor on Bloodshot and Eric's amazing scripts. We also have these amazing characters in the Valiant universe called Quantum and Woody, and it's two adopted brothers, and as brothers do, they often don't get along, but they're stuck together because they have these metal bracelets, and every 24 hours they have to clang them together, or their energy matrices disappear and they die. So it's like the Odd Couple or the Defiant Ones, two roommates that hate each other stuck together. And we've partnered with the Russo brothers, who are directing the new Avengers films 3 and 4, and they did Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War. They're producing the television show with us, and Barr and Ferrari, the writers of Ant-Man, Ant-Man 2, are writing that. And we have an actor for Woody that's also amazing, but we can't tell you who that is.
Would you guys ever actually want to go animated rather than live action with any of this?
I think if we do our job right and keep making cool comic books and building a fan base, I think all that stuff will come. It's not something we're running towards, simply because we're in this for comics.
So, as like an independent comic company, has the rise of digital comics been helpful in getting your brands out there? Is it a challenge? I know like different companies are kind of having different experiences with the way that people consume comics these days, but how has like the last kind of 5 years or so changed your fan base?
I think everyone in comics has had an experience of digital comics. I think it's changed the way everyone's. What do you guys think about it?
It's another outlet, you know. I mean, the economics are kind of interesting, but I think it's another way people can get your product really easily. So, I mean, I just as a reader and as a fan, I have a mixture of physical books and digital books and audio books and everything else. So I just, I think it's got to be thought of as a net positive.
And I think for people who don't necessarily have a local comic shop that's near them, or maybe is one that they don't feel welcome in, it's an outlet where they can, buy their comics and read them from home, and they don't have to go out. And also things like Humble Bundle, because I know Faith was in the Eisner Humble Bundle they did recently. I had people reaching out to me who read it there, and they just discovered the series that way. So there's just all these different opportunities popping up for people, for things to catch people's eye, which I think is great. Because again, I've met people who don't know that there are new comics coming out every week. So I think whatever outreach you can have to bring in potential new fans is great.
I think we have time to throw this to the audience if there are any questions out there. We do have a mic runner coming out. If anyone has questions about anything Valiant Comics is doing, they won't tell you who are starring in their TVs or movies, but
don't
anything
ask
else.
Hi, I've recently started reading Valiant. I've been catching
Awesome,
up
thank you.
frantically.
Nice,
Frantically, I bought
nice.
a
Good work.
stack of trades like that high over last month.
Nice.
Shadow Man. Are we gonna see any more Shadow Man?
Oh,
Yes, absolutely. Come on, Warren.
there's such
Give it
goodness
something.
coming. Yes, we've been working very hard at it behind the scenes. Something big and explosive is coming. I think we've announced the date of it, right?
We did the fourth Wednesday of March of next year.
2018.
We
The
put a
release will be
flag
out.
there. It's a long ways away.
We've
but
got a brilliant writer working on it. We've got a pretty crazy art team process. It's gonna be worth the wait.
Awesome. I remember playing the game when I was a kid, and when I found out it was a comic book years later, I started checking it out. So, thanks again for putting out great books. Like I said, I've
Thank
probably
you,
bought
man.
about 18, 19 trades and hardcovers over the last 3 months. So,
What's your favorite?
currently, Bloodshot. I just got done reading volumes 1 and 2 of Bloodshot Reborn.
Okay, nice.
But
nice.
I've also been reading Harbinger. I read the
Who should
hardcover.
play Bloodshot? I'm just gonna take over, by the way.
I heard Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, Marky Mark.
Marky Mark would be a good one.
Go ahead, you should get it out of them.
Not Marky Mark.
They won't tell us.
Seriously, I mean,
Yeah, we
I'm
just-
just waiting.
Be great.
I just read
That's
the
not him.
books, and I'm like, who is it? I want to know.
Maybe we can play Hangman.
it's like a
and you
known
can just, like,
actor,
fill
it's not like
in
a fresh
some
face.
letters.
If you liked Reborn, Salvation's coming out in September, and it's awesome. It's Jeff Lemire, who wrote Reborn, is writing it, and we have Louis LaRosa, who's... I've been walking through Artist Alley up here, and every third artist has stopped me and told me how brilliant they think Louis is. He's probably one of the best artists in the industry, and he's drawing it along with Miko Soyan. So if you enjoyed Reborn, Salvation's going to be a beast as well.
That's awesome. One of the things I love about the Valiant universe is that you guys don't have to change anything. It's all can be explained just by, just look at the Geomancer.
Yeah, no, that's a very
Explains
good
it
point.
all.
That's for anyone that doesn't know, the Valiant universe is we very much try to build the world outside your window, so you don't have to know about any newly created continents or alien planets or anything like that. It's just what you know, and then the one conceit of each character is the bit of creative fantasy that we bring to it.
For Archer and Armstrong on the big screen, do you guys have anything planned for that, like actor-wise?
There is a man in the audience here who might know a little bit about it. He might be producing it, so you're gonna have to find him.
All right, I'm gonna hunt him down. Thank you.
Awesome. Those are great questions. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Any more questions for the Valiant Comics crew? Oh, yeah,
one back there.
There we go.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just recently heard about you guys from Warp Tour. Is it true?
Cool.
Yeah, are you guys doing like? I saw the characters. Are there gonna be comics like there at Warp Tour based on what you guys created, or are they?
No, those are the Valiant characters. So the question is, you saw the Valiant characters at the Warp Tour, and you want to know more about them. We partnered with the Warp Tour. They came to us. They asked us to help design their art this year, and so we had Kano, this incredible artist, build all this art that they're using
Yeah, I've
based
seen
on our
some of the
characters.
They're
And so,
sick.
for instance, Archer Armstrong, we're part of that, and that's Fred's book. It's fantastic. Highly recommend it. Faith was actually the most prominent one in the image was Faith. She's the one in
Yeah,
the
I
white
heard
costume.
about that. Yeah, well, yeah.
That's Jody's book. She's nominated for an
Okay.
Eisner yesterday. You should definitely check that out.
Are they gonna be available at Warp?
Yeah, anyway.
Awesome.
You're at Comic-Con. They're here.
Thank you.
That's a great partnership, by the way, that you guys got with Warp Tour. How'd that come about?
They
They
it
just
came about.
literally
we-
called you?
Well, we work with a charity called Keep Abreast, and it's a self-check breast cancer awareness charity. And so we've been working with them, and they're partnered with the Warp Tour, and so they hooked us and the Warp Tour up, and we just, instead of making it complicated, we just said, whatever you need, we'll do. And they've been awesome partners. And so Warren and I haven't had a chance to go to any of the stops yet, but it's 50 venues, and some of the other guys in the company have, and there's these 2-story tall banners of Livewire and Faith and Archer Armstrong and tickets and wristbands, and it's just, they're everywhere. It's really fun to see.
That's fantastic.
Another fun question. If you could have the powers of any of the Valiant comic characters, which ones would you pick? Let's go down the line, starting with Fred.
That's an easy one for me. I don't know. I don't understand like Anne Rice vampires who complain about immortality all the time. I want to not die. That's Armstrong's major power, and I think all of you can agree with me. That'd be pretty awesome.
You wouldn't get sad seeing everyone around you growing old and dying while you stayed on?
I'll get over it.
All right.
Wait, but you don't want to be a raptor with human abilities? I don't understand.
Arms too short. No, I like my arms the way that I like my reach the way it is.
I always liked Torque's power set, actually, with his ability to sort of generate his own fantasy land that he can just retreat to, because that would be a cool space to go and get writing done, honestly. And then, you know, if you can only afford, like, a really small apartment, you can just imagine yourself a bigger one, and you save on rent. It's very useful.
I like how practical
Yeah.
your application for your powers were.
It's literally just going to find your happy place.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, and also then I could, like, look taller, too.
everything's just shrunken in your fantasy land.
You know, I'd likely go with Pete Stanchek, you know, to try and you know, he has the power that allows you to go around and activate other people's powers. So I would feel kind of like a genie. I just get to walk around and grant some people some awesome power wishes.
There are two. I'd either be Toyo Harada, an Omega level Psyot who's a telepath, telekinetic, kind of wants to take over the world. Or
Cheat, though. He's got like 12 powers.
there are two. One is Toyo Harada. The other one is Nikki from Secret Weapons. So I could talk to pigeons because I love pigeons. And I'd be able to talk to birds. So it's one or the other. I'm not sure if I want to take over the world or talk to pigeons, but somewhere,
Can
one of
I
those
say
two.
the-
Flip a coin. I'm good either way.
The concept of your editor having the powers of Harada is terrifying. Like, no one would ever get anything, turn anything in late ever again.
No, the idea of Warren having Harada's powers would be terrifying.
Warren.
No more negotiation.
Oh, I've got to do this. I was
Yeah,
paying
you
attention.
do.
I was. I didn't think about it. I should have.
Bloodshot?
Ninjak. I'm gonna go
Ninjak.
Ninjak. Ninjak, who has no powers, except for he's always a dick and somehow gets away with it. That's what I'd go with.
Wait, you already have that.
Yes.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Awesome. So that's about time for us. I wanted to thank all of you for coming out and hanging out with us here at
Thank
Comic
you,
Con.
guys.
Thank you very much, guys.
Valiant Comics is right in the middle of their Icons relaunch. You should definitely check it out. There's multiple issues of Exo Manowar out. Faith and Future Force. There we go. I was like Freedom Force. That's not right. Faith and the Future Force comes out like in a week. We've got Secret Weapons has just come out. That was last month, I believe.
Yeah, issue 2 came out this week.
Yeah, next month you've got War Mother and a bunch of other ones, and they're going all the way into March 2018 even for Shadowhunter. So definitely check out all the great things, plus 2 movies and a TV show coming out. Like Valiant is about to blow.
And we're on the edge of our seat for who's going to be
Soon
starring
Bad
in
Eggs.
these.
Yes.
And soon Bad Eggs
And
is
soon
coming
Bad
back.
Eggs, the movie, the
Yes.
video game, coming soon to the Nintendo
Podcast.
64.
The life experience.
They
The
are
escape
hanging out.
room.
Everyone here at Comic-Con, we have posters to give away, so don't go anywhere. Come hang out here. Meet all your favorite writers. For those of you at home, we are going to be back here at 3, I believe,
3:30-ish, yeah.
talking to Michael Rooker from Guardians of the Galaxy. You definitely don't want to miss that. He is a lot of fun, and he'll be answering your guys' questions and playing games with us.
Ask him if he's playing Bloodshot.
I will ask him if he's playing Bloodshot.
Full circle. Is he allowed to say yes? Come on.
He is. I can't.
Okay.
All right. We're going to ask Michael Rooker
We're gonna try
if
to
he's
break these
playing
rules.
Bloodshot and get around some legal, red tape. There we go. Thank you guys so much. All right. We
Thank
got
you, guys.
posters to give away, so we're going to, end the stream. Everyone who wants posters, we have a ton of them. So let's just line up at the front of the stage, and we're going to have our crew come pass these out.
Thanks,
Thank
a lot,
you, guys.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.